What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Level Start Podcast, part of the Play Legit Network, your only source for gaming and real talk. I'm your host, T42. What's going on, everybody? This episode is going to be a PC dominant episode. It's going to be really interesting, some of the things we're going to be talking about. I'm going to get into some Gabe Newell, Steam, Valve stuff here in a little bit. I'm going to cover some really big, interesting things that have dropped kind of from the PC realm. Some really cool stuff that's going on. First of all, Watch Dogs finally gets a release date of May 27th with a fresh trailer to be seen that's out there. We can probably get you guys links to some of this stuff on our website. But, yeah, I'm really excited. Watch Dogs looks like a really good game. I'm not mad or worried about a delay. People were like, "Oh no, they delayed it." This is one of those games that's coming out that I'm really excited about, and I'm glad to see that there's a delay because they really want to put more into it. They really want to work on fine tuning some of the details and stuff like that. And I think that is great. I think far too many games have just been pushed out, and then they're like, "Well, we'll patch it in the next couple of months with some new DLC and whatnot." And I'm not really for that. Like, I really want a full-featured game at launch, to be honest with you, and I think a lot of people do. So the fact that they've pushed this back and have given it a launch date, with the exception that they probably will be doing patching because everybody does, but I think waiting to give people a more full-fledged game is a really, really good idea. So I'm really excited about that. Guys, Homeworld. If you guys have ever played Homeworld, you'll know how excited I am for this. Homeworld Remastered Collection announced by Gearbox. Now this is exciting because I am a huge fan of strategy games, and the Homeworld series is like one of those series that's just like always spoken to me, and I've loved it. There's some awesome mods out there for it. You can do some really cool things. So what's going on is there's these guys that have been developing this like spiritual successor to Homeworld called Hardware Shipbreakers. And pretty much Gearbox was like, you know what, screw this. Let's let you guys just use the title. Like, you guys can use the IP name. Like, this is really what it's supposed to be. You guys you're making a sequel to this thing, so to speak. And so why don't you just use Homeworld? So it's been renamed to Homeworld Shipbreakers. Excuse me. But they're pretty much going back in and redoing the entire, like, resolutions of things, ship models, textures, the works, and they're re-releasing Homeworld 1 and 2 for the PC again. That's going to be able to support HD, UHD, and 4K resolutions, and Homeworld's original audio and video artists have also recreated cinematic scenes in beautiful high fidelity. I'm really excited about this. Homeworld is such a it's like one of those nostalgic memories of playing strategy games. Like, I remember when I first got the demo for that when I was a kid, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I'm really excited, guys. Homeworld, the Remastered Collection announced by Gearbox, along with a sequel. Now, what's kind of cool about this is it's kind of like, you know, when I talk about spiritual predecessors, think about, like, another strategy game, actually, Total Annihilation. Total Annihilation was a classic strategy PC game and probably one of the best of its time, even to today's standards. It had a spiritual predecessor of Supreme Commander. And Supreme Commander, the guy, I think, who made that with a different company, I don't remember all the details, but essentially that's what it was. It was supposed to be a sequel to like that, a spiritual predecessor to that. And the same thing is happening again with the Planetary Annihilation series. You know, it's all, if you look at Planetary Annihilation, you're like, that looks a lot like Supreme Commander, but it has the same similar name to Total Annihilation, but it also is very similar in how it, works to Total Annihilation too. So I think all this stuff is really cool with these strategy games, so I'm really excited. Diablo 3. Okay, so Diablo 3, and some people are kind of cringing at this point with me mentioning Diablo 3. Some people didn't really like it. I personally enjoyed it because I'm just a huge Diablo fan, Blizzard fan in general, actually. They just got a really good patch update. Patch 2.0.1 is out, and PC Gamer has put some of their first impressions together, and let's just say they're really liking it. They've really revamped the core loot system, which is what the entire game runs. They've redone the skills for every class. They've redesigned boss fights. added new stuff like Curse Shrines and Nephilim Glory Globes, which I was always wondering about the Curse Shrines myself. They've also this, I think, is part of this really is to help get themselves ready for when the new expansion comes out, which Reaper of Souls, which looks, I'm lost for words, I'm stuttering. It looks good. I'm really excited. So if you're a fan of Diablo, they've really done some changes. If you've put Diablo down for a while and decided to give it a break for a while and maybe say, well, hopefully they'll fix this, pick it back up again, try it out, take a look at it. They've done some really excellent work with it. And PC Gamer, if you go look it up, PC Gamer has put together a really awesome first impression list for this. I highly recommend and check it out. If not, TLDR, then take my notes from it. It was good. Speaking of Blizzard, World of Warcraft is getting a new expansion, the Warlords of Draenor. They're kind of bringing some lore back with this, which is really cool. They're also talking about potentially, along with this release, they're potentially talking about player housing, which is something that SWTOR is doing, Star Wars The Old Republic MMO is doing. They're adding player housing, which for World of Warcraft to be adding this so far late in the game is kind of interesting. I don't know if this is something because they're finally adding something that the fans want, or they're adding something that the fans wanted to bring back fans so that the fans can have that. Personally, I think the only game that actually ever honestly did in an MMO player housing the best was Star Wars Galaxies. Now, you guys can argue with me all you want, but Star Wars Galaxies, especially the earlier versions, yes, they had weird different iterations of the game that really changed the game dynamics. But like, earlier on, even up to just before the NGE crap that happened, they had some really awesome stuff with player housing that was just fantastic. Now, they had it in the NGE, but I don't like to think about NGE because that's what began the downfall of that game. But the true downfall. But Star Wars Galaxies, man, like, you could get a house and you could design it with all kinds of different things. Your equipment, anything that you could equip to yourself, you could even like frame all of your gear and your armor and stuff like that and position it however you want. You could just take helmets and line them up across like a mantle or whatever you wanted. Like, it was really cool what you could do with the player housing in this. It's kind of interesting that they're talking about putting player housing in. I'm really kind of curious to see how they're going to do it, if it's just going to be carbon copies. Because, I mean, even Online now has the captain's quarters, but they're all virtually identical. All the Caldari ones pretty much look the same, or they're very similar. Like, you can't really customize them. They're saying that they're going to do that down the road, but let's be honest, like, CCP, great game developers, and they're putting out some great stuff, but when it comes to, like, their walking in station stuff, they're really, really not putting a lot of effort into that. And, whatever, it's fine. More PC news. World of Tanks. Of course, World of Tanks is on Xbox now, but World of Tanks is getting a physics system, including destructible buildings, and I know a lot of my friends are really excited about this. And you know who you are, Lance Criminal. You know who you are. Yeah, this is really exciting. I love World of Tanks. I don't play it. I've got too many other games I'm into right now. I really just need to sit down and like crank out some hours into this game on a weekend and kind of like level myself up. But guys, check out World of Tanks. They're getting a physics system, which is pretty exciting, and I'm really excited for that one. Alright guys, here's where the trailer comes in for this week. Batman Arkham Knight announced will feature drivable Batmobile. So super excited. Here, go check out the trailer right now.
Gotham, this is your only warning. Abandon the city, or I will unleash your greatest fears.
The last will and testament of the deceased, Thomas Wayne. In the event of my death, I hereby declare that all my worldly possessions pass to my son, Bruce Wayne. Bruce, I ask that you honor the Wayne family legacy and commit yourself to the improvement of Gotham City, its institutions, and its citizens. Please, be strong. You are young, but destined for great things. Make the most of your opportunities. Use them to give back to a city that has given us so much, to change the lives of millions of people. Do not be frivolous with this wealth. Please do not waste it all on fast cars and outrageous clothes and the pursuit of a destructive lifestyle. Invest in Gotham. Treat its people like family. Watch over them and use this money to safeguard them from forces beyond their control. My deepest regret is I will not see you grow into the good man I know you will become. And finally, my son, I ask that you never abandon this city to fate. We have lived through dark days, and no doubt there are more to come. But it is the good and great men who stand up for Gotham when others turn and run. In death, I will love you forever. Your father, Thomas.
Dudes and dudettes, I am super excited about this. Finally, it's back in the hands of the guys who did the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City game. Not that Arkham Origins crap that was done by somebody else. They're finally putting it back into the original guys' hands that really did a lot of really good work with it. I'm so super excited for this one. I think this is better than the new Batman movies. Now, some of you liked the Batman movies, and they weren't bad movies, but, I mean, this looks really good. And I'm really excited to see when the game comes out and checking it out and getting my hands on it and playing with it. Alright, guys, I'm going to move on to something that's kind of serious for me. Gabe Newell did an AMA recently on Reddit. Steam's going to become a self-publishing system. He talks more about Counter-Strike Go and coming to Linux and some other stuff. And the one thing that he really kind of avoided was the obvious Half-Life 3. I personally think that this... I'm just going to be real. I mean, it's an age-old argument. It's been since forever, since Half-Life 2 Episode 2 came out. Left you with a huge cliffhanger. I'm not going to spoil it if you guys haven't played it yet, but the fact is it leaves you with a cliffhanger, and I personally think that's kind of crappy. I mean, why would, an artist do something like that? I don't know. But I mean, the fact that they haven't come out with anything or even mentioned anything, and he put a joke out about it, saying that in the past that they've announced release dates and then they've or announced it, and it's been some time since it's come out. Listen, a lot of games in the past have done that. A lot of Blizzard games have done that, and a lot of Valve games have done that. I personally don't care. As long as I know it's coming, as long as I know you guys are working on it, to have it come out, you guys are a reputable company. It's not like you're going to go under anytime soon. So, I mean, come on. Like, give us something. That's all the fans really want. The fans really just want to know, like, hey, like, give us something. Gabe Newell plays 20 hours a week, Dota 2. Now, don't get me wrong, Dota 2 is a great game. Not a game for me, but it's a great game. And the fact that they're pouring so much effort into Dota 2, CS:GO, and all these other games, except for their breadwinner, the one that got them really moving and grooving with the Half-Life series. I mean, my gosh, like, come on. I know I'm getting a little hyped up over this, but I mean, for real, Gabe, like, say something. Like, give us a frickin' bone, Scott. Like, come on. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so that's about it. We got some awesome reviews coming out. There's a really good one for the new Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze up on our site. Head on over to playlegit.net. You can find more of us on Facebook, PlayLegit, and you can find us on Twitter at PlayLegit. Oh, gee, I wonder. So we're out there, guys. Check us out. We're on YouTube. Look us up. We have some more videos, which obviously, if you're watching this, you're on YouTube, or you're on our site, which is a link to YouTube. Oh, I hit the mic. Anyway, yeah, check us out, guys. A little hyped up right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm on Red Bull. It gives you wings. Anyway, you guys are awesome. You guys are the best. Stay classy, and we'll catch you all next time. That's been our show. So if you guys want to leave us a comment, comment, subscribe, get some dialogue going about some of these topics, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.